What brought them together was flying. Onassis owned Olympic Airways. He was the only private individual to own a national carrier. He called it his hobby, but to Alexander, flying was a vocation.
Alexander was a brilliant young man, and I don't have any hesitation to say that he was born to be a pilot. He was flying amphibian aeroplanes, jets, and helicopters as well.
Alexander was scheduled to check out a new pilot on a January afternoon in 1973. The plane had just been serviced, and he was not to know that the aileron connecting cables had somehow been reversed. On takeoff, the pilot tried to turn left. The harder he tried, the more violently the plane banked to the right.
Alexander was very badly injured in his head. Only his heart was working. His brain was not functioning. This was proved right from the first day. Of course, we advised his father, also his mother.
And they said, is he going to live? And they said, yes, he'll live, but he won't think or be able to speak again, probably. And Daddy said, I won't have anything of it. I won't have anything of it. He must die.
He was in oxygen for 24 hours. And then Onassis gave his consent to cut the oxygen.
It was days before Onassis could bring himself to bury his son. They brought Alexander to the little chapel on Scorpius. Onassis often came here. He was frequently seen sitting by his son's grave for 3 and 4 hours at a time.
Could you tell me, sir, how you feel at this time?
Well, like any other human being. I'm not anything special or exceptional. Like any father would feel. He's a nice boy. He was a promising boy and a good boy.
Aristotle had died after his son had died, period. I mean, he was a living corpse, I would say.
Back up with him, Paul.
It was really, I think, the biggest shock that he had during his lifetime.
It upset him very much. And, of course, later on, this awful disease, I don't know what it was that he had. And I was sitting at lunch with him one day at Claridge's, and he said, oh, Nigel, you've noticed my eyes, I think. And apparently he had to sort of stick his eyelids up to keep them open.
Onassis knew he was dying when he entered hospital in Paris. His disease, myasthenia gravis, was incurable. While Jackie visited frequently, his daughter Christina hardly left his side. Jackie was with her own children in New York on March the 15th, 1975, the night he died. He had not wanted to come to the hospital. His wife and daughter had to persuade him. It was almost as if he had wished to die. His body was flown home to Greece. It was on a long flight some months earlier that he had written his will. In it, he left half his estate to his daughter Christina. Jackie's inheritance was limited by a prenuptial agreement. She was eventually to get $26 million. Christina had always loved her father too much and never found a man to replace him. After 4 marriages and many failed relationships, her heart weakened by diet pills, she died, aged 37. Onassis's funeral cortege passed through the little fishing village of Bufada. The coffin had been made from one of the walnut trees that grew on his island. For the second time in this story, a flotilla of small boats crosses the water to Skorpios. Before he died, he established the Alexander Onassis Foundation in memory of his son. Each year, it distributes millions of dollars to charity, medical research, the arts, and good causes. And so the Onassis name lives on. For unlike other reputations, business fame rarely lasts long. In the Greek Orthodox religion, only saints can be buried inside a church. But Onassis found a way round that. Annexes have been built on each side of the chapel, and today they enclose the tombs of his son, his daughter, and himself. The Christina was donated to the Greek government, but for years she has been left to rust in a naval dockyard. There are not many people left, it seems, who can afford a yacht that burns 30 tons of oil a day.